is time. It is time to brew your best beer.
The 2016 SJPorr Challenge is dedicated to your friend and ours, Paul Wickstein. Brought to you by Brewcraft USA, iMake, Gladfield Malting, Yakima Valley Hops, The Grain Bill, Brewers Exchange, Keg Kingdom Homebrew Supply, Hiraki Homebrew, and a special thanks to our silver sponsors.
All right, y'all, it is Sunday night. We're going to end off the weekend with another SJPorr review. Southeast Hub. This is 77T-63X-34N. It is a rye IPA. 2.9% ABV. That's ridiculously low. Rye IPA with Falconer's Flight and Nugget hops. It comes in at 65 IBUs. Beer has been bottle conditioned, so pour with care. Cheers. Any last little bit on the website says grain bill is under 6 pounds, comes in under 3% ABV. It's a mix of Falconer's Flight, Nugget, and a new experimental hop. It's bottle carbed, so unless you have a B12 deficiency, pour with care. Cheers. It looks a little hazy in the bottle. It doesn't look really clear, but I will do my best not to disturb the sediment. Got a nice sound on it. Here we go. Like the color so far. And I'm spilling it. Carbonation looks a little on the higher side. I was a little aggressive though, so that's my fault. The bubbles are really loose. Larger bubbles, a little bit loose. So you get kind of a foamy head on it. It's not bad, but they're not nicely packed bubbles or anything. The beer itself is a cool color. I really like the color. It's like a light straw color with a little bit of golden hues mixed in there. It's hazy, but it's not bad. You can still see through it. It's not off-putting at all. It's a really nice looking beer. It's a great color. It's lighter in person than it is on the cameras. Most of these are. See if I can get a little. See what the head looks like when I swirl. Much more tightly packed bubbles once I swirl it up. Looks actually pretty darn nice. So, nice looking beer. Let's get a nose. Alright, so you get some hops, which is good. It's a rye IPA. You do get some, a little bit of spiciness. Some kind of earthy notes, which I imagine is the rye as well. Also be part of that nugget hop or the experimental hop as well. I don't smell a lot of Falconer's Flight, maybe just a very slight hint of a citrusy note. Almost kind of a slight orange peel, lemon peel. It smells pretty nice. Not in love with it, but it smells pretty nice. Carb is pretty lively. See the bubbles streaming up and that head comes back super easy. It's now really nice and pillowy. Cheers. Let's get into this. Yeah. Sip rule. All right, so I'm middle of the road on this. It's not a bad beer. Actually, the fermentation quality and the fermentation character of it is really nice. There's no fermentation flaws. There's no, you know, nothing jumping out that's like, ooh, something went wrong. So I think it's probably fermented. There's a couple things that are just a little off for me in the flavor profile. It's a little too heavy-handed on the bittering side, so it's a little harshly bitter. Most of it's on the back end of the palate, and it kind of sticks with you. It's not bad, but it's definitely a little too much for my liking. That's really kind of my main complaint here. The hop profile is not bad as far as like the flavor goes, not the bitterness, but the flavor. A lot of lemony notes, a lot of lemony, kind of pithy lemony, and a little bit of orange citrus, kind of maybe even maybe a little like tangerine. But it's very, very on that end. A slight spice from the rye. Other than that rye, you get just a little bready, biscuity, but definitely a spicy and a little earthiness from that rye, and probably some of those nugget hops too. I think I can smell the nugget hops in this as well. It's a little, gosh, a little pungent. That doesn't really help you, but it's kind of pungent. I'm going to collect my thoughts a little bit better, come back, I'll score, and do final thoughts. Cheers. Finishing up with the Rye IPA tonight. It continues to be a lovely beer. This thing's got some lacing on the glass, which is ridiculous for a 2.9% ABV beer. Carb is still sticking around. Head is nice. It's clearing up a little bit. So really nice color. The lemon continues to pop out more and more to me as I smell it. It warms up. Little bit of orange rind, and then a little bit of spiciness from the rye. It has some nice aspects to it. I think the lemony, a little bit of citrusy hops. You've got some of the spicy, biscuity malt profile. For whatever reason, they just don't gel very well. At least to me, they're a little bit clashing. I don't know what that could be. I've never put this combination together, so it could just be the combo. It's not bad, but it's a little confusing to the palate, having some citrusy and then the spicy, and I don't know. I've described beers like that before in the past that have actually worked, but for whatever reason, this one's just a little bit off. It's a little too dry, ever so slightly astringent. The biggest flaw to me really is the heavy-handed bitterness. It sticks with you a little bit too long. It's a little bit too harsh. It's got a decent mouthfeel. It's a little light, like I said, pretty dry. But that's not a huge detractor. For whatever reason, I just don't think the combo worked that well. And then with the heavy-handed bitterness, it just wasn't quite my thing. I will say though, it does taste very well fermented. No, big time fermentation flaws, but pretty good. I mean, I think it's got the beginnings of something cool. Maybe tweak a couple of the hops maybe. That might incorporate a little bit better. I can't even tell you exactly what I would recommend, but it's a cool beer. Thanks for sending this in. Cheers. Good luck in the competition. And again, this was 77T-63X-34N, the Session Rye IPA. Cheers.